Challenge accepted, Internet. I'm gonna see if I can make the most musical and epic song I've ever done. Here's the plan. I'm gonna take the iconic song Hallelujah.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord.
And not only am I gonna make my own version, but I'm gonna see if I can simultaneously make the most emotional and epic version ever made. Now this is a song literally everyone knows, so if I don't knock this out of the park, I might have to just go back to serving tables. Please, please no. The first thing I have to do is to lay out the production, lay out the arrangement, and figure out how I'm gonna make this feel epic and emotional at the same time. And I'm calling in the big guns for this one. I'm bringing in live strings and live gospel choir. So not only do I have to arrange the whole production, but I also have to compose all the string parts, all the choir parts, and notate everything for those session players. Let's get started. The whole thing with this song is just trying to build space. The very first thing that I want to do is just get a basic structure of the entire song, get some basic strings laid in, have an idea of how the song is going to sound from start to finish, and like what kind of journey am I going to try to take people on. I spent several hours on that first day working on getting the structure and essentially a good sounding demo put together. I worked on pianos, other keyboard elements, and composed a bit of the virtual strings, which would later be replaced with the live strings. Composing the strings was by far the most challenging part and took up the vast majority of this first day. After several hours of dedicated work, I gave it a break and came back the following day to continue. The ending is killing me right now. I don't feel like the ending is very good, but I know what I'm gonna do right now is just listen top to bottom because I need to get context. What you're hearing now is the intro and what I got done on the first day. And even though it sounds good, I'm still only probably 20% done by now, since such a big part of a production like this is detail work. I spent the next several days on the detailed composition with the strings to make sure they were exactly what I wanted to make this song as impactful as it could be. All right, so I got the strings dialed in about as much as I want to for the solo strings for the string quartet. So basically my plan of attack now is I'm going to format the notation, just the score, and then I'm gonna basically send this to the string players so they can see the score, they can know what they're gonna get themselves into, so to speak. So basically I'm gonna send them the score, I'm gonna send them this recording so they can hear it. It won't have vocals on it, I'm not sending them anything with vocals. And then hopefully we can get something scheduled and knock this thing out. Now it's time for the incredibly time-consuming and detail-oriented work of notating everything for the strings and composing the parts for the gospel choir. Welcome to a late night session in my studio. My kids are in bed and my wife is out, I'm home alone, and I don't have a life and I'm obsessed. So I'm gonna notate some music in finale so we can have music for my string players sometime soon. And trust me, I'm doing you a huge favor by cutting this section down because this would literally be equivalent to watching hours upon hours of watching paint dry. You're welcome. All right, so I've already put in a huge amount of time on this song. It's already been about a week and a half since I started just doing the production, the writing, the notation, and everything that goes into all of that. We still have the most important parts left to do, and that is recording the gospel choir and recording strings. I have all of my vocalists lined up for the choir, and I'm a bit concerned about the tenors because the tenor part is the most challenging out of all the parts that I wrote. And since I'm working with all volunteers, I actually only know one of the 4 tenors we have lined up, so I just don't know what I'm gonna get. And on something like this, the tenor part is especially important since they are the only male vocalists we have. Now for the strings, I have the concert hall booked, but we're only gonna have about 1 hour and 45 minutes between setup and the actual recording session, so we're gonna be on a pretty big time crunch. So now it's time to knock out the choir and the strings. All right, so this evening we are going to be recording the gospel choir. So what I need to do is get everything ready to go. Now, since I'm gonna be recording with more than 2 mics, I am gonna have to bring my larger interface, my 8-channel audio interface, which is my Focusrite. Now that's gonna be a little annoying because I'm gonna have to basically unmount this and then physically bring my whole rack unit with me tonight, which kind of stinks. So let's go ahead and get everything we need to get. I need to figure out which microphones I'm gonna bring. Alrighty, so I've got everything pretty much ready to go, so let's rock and roll. A few days before the choir session, I found out that one of my 4 tenors got sick and we lost him. And to make it worse, I got a text. Dang. Apparently this dude's sibling was hospitalized. So I had 3 tenors lined up. Actually, I had 4 lined up. One of them got a sinus infection, and then one of them, apparently their sibling was just hospitalized, so not gonna be able to be here tonight either, so. That's not fun. Okay, well, I guess I'll just tell the 2 tenors that we do have, sing your hearts out. All right, the briefcase has $1 million in it. going to the person who sings the best. It's just a microphone. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start getting set up here. This is gonna be so janky, dude. So let's just go ahead and get mics kind of set up here. Let's start realizing that we got like 15 minutes to go time, and I am not nearly as far along as I would like to be. I'm like actually feeling stressed right now. I never get stressed. Would you want to pass out the...
No, but I will.
Distribute the music. Do it now! Bossing everyone around. Who does this guy think he is? I haven't even got my computer out yet, bro. I think good to go. Check, 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 check. Hey-o. We'll try that. I'm not a huge fan of this, but normally we would not have a speaker like this, but with this many people and I don't have enough headphones. Okay, I think we're good. Why don't we stand up here? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. Everyone get a chance to get the wiggles out? Alrighty, here we go. Same thing. I'm still just kind of getting a level. The first thing that I had to do is get all the levels set, which is what I'm doing here. Were you guys having a hard time at the end there? Yeah. Okay. Couldn't tell. All right, we're gonna do that again. I'm actually listening now. If you could maybe scoot a little closer to, no, sorry, let me finish my sentence. Well, it's closer together, sorry, like, I guess like shoulder to shoulder. And then just like you two, like make sure you're singing like directly into this, yeah. At this point, I'm trying to take a good listen to see what things we actually need to focus on for the remainder of the session to make sure we can nail the final production. All right, tenors. Coming to you guys.
Just play those laughs.
Yeah, absolutely, yep. Do we want to just do it again just to kind of get comfortable? Okay, yep. Okay, yeah. Let's do it a couple more times. At this point, I'm starting to figure out which things we actually need to focus on and work on, which in this case, I started realizing that we really needed to make sure we work on each individual section to make sure they really knew their parts. I would actually just like to play and just listen to each section individually. So let's start with you guys. Holy dove, she was moving to. All right, cool. Altos. It's always the altos. They're always so good. It's like every choir of sopranos. Put it all together. Once we ran through things a few times, everyone started getting into the groove and we were able to do the rest of the session smoothly and without too many hiccups. The one big thing I learned from this session was that the speaker bleeding into the microphones was going to become a major headache during mixing. But at the end of the day, I was able to make it work, and with this many musicians and not being able to get headphones for everybody, this was a solution that did work for this specific situation. I wouldn't recommend doing it though. All right, so last night we did all the gospel choir recording, and this morning, a little sluggish because it was a late night. So let's go ahead and fire it up and do it. Go ahead and take a listen at what we got here. For the next 30 minutes, I picked the best takes and started adding layers together and started working on making the sound at least somewhat mixed. And after 30 minutes, it sounded like this. You'll have to stick around to the end of the video to hear the epic ending though. And finally, it was time to record strings. Once we got to the concert hall, we only had about 45 minutes to set up and then would only have a bit over an hour to record strings, so we were under a pretty significant time crunch. Let's get mics set up. So violin, like imagine where it'll be. Mic is gonna be like right there. Yeah. Got music here too. Violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello, that's 2 pages. Huzzah. Fun. Holy crap, it's already like 7:26. We gotta move. If you wanna start getting cables out, hook them up to the mics. I decided to use a 6 microphone setup, 1 mic close up on each player, and then a stereo pair capturing the whole ensemble behind it. All right, good, we're getting signal. You Noah? Nice to meet you, I'm Nathan. Thanks for coming. Feel like a conductor. I took 1 class of conducting, and you know. We're just gonna run the whole thing without any stops, just so I can get kind of a baseline, and then I'll do some tweaking, and then we'll probably isolate some sections. We'll start on B. I'm gonna give you, that's 16 bars. Uh-oh, hold on. And this is where things started going wrong. Hold on, technological problems. Somehow when I got my session set up, I made a mistake and all of my tempo settings got messed with. So everything was completely out of time. Are you hearing metronome?
No.
And then there was that. Somehow my monitors were completely messed up. No one could hear the click. Sorry, somehow my whole project tempo got messed around with. And this was a problem throughout the whole session. And after a solid 5 minutes, I was finally able to figure out the issue and we could get started. It's not a recording session unless there's things that go wrong, right? Here we go, 2 bars. Finally, we were able to get started. When it goes that spiccato pattern, that was a little rushed. Initially, it took a second to kind of get into that groove. What you're hearing right now is what the strings sounded like just coming into my lapel mic. And this is what it sounded like coming through the microphones. Once I finally got the technical problems sorted out, we were able to get through the entire rest of the session with virtually no problems, and it went very smoothly. Okay, cool. Okay, good. We should have plenty to work with. Let's take a listen, see what the damage is. Hopefully things turn out okay. Here we go. Listening through to this for the first time was such a special moment because I've been dreaming of recording live strings like this for literally 10 years. And it was truly such a special moment. Even though we had all of the issues in recording and there was a lot of stress involved, this was such an incredible experience for me. And I learned a huge amount from it. Dang. I spent the next 30 minutes going through, tweaking things, creating comps, and deciding which parts I want to use. Like I have like a larger orchestral library layered in there with it that it doesn't sound like there's any virtual strings in this because the live strings just add all that realism. I think this is one of the beautiful things about working with live players is you can layer the live players in with the virtual instruments and it automatically makes everything else sound more believable. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, was because I knew that if we could actually get live strings, it would just add a whole extra dimension of realism to this. Overall, I'm so excited and happy I can't wait to get vocals on this. It's gonna be so good. So good! And finally, we were ready for vocals. And I brought in one of my favorite artists to collaborate with, Sailor Wilterding. Okay, ready?
Now I heard there was a secret chord, and it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the hallelujah.
What if you go up, hallelujah, hallelujah? Yeah. I think that'll be better. Now I heard. I think this needs to be a little more,
Beat.
Yeah. Now I heard there was. Yeah.
Now I heard there was.
Let's do it. Yeah, I think you take the breath sooner.
Yeah.
Now I heard. Yeah, just take a big breath like right away. That way you're not caught off guard.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now I heard there was a secret chord.
Now, Sailor is one of the best vocalists I've worked with, and this entire session was under an hour.
I'll stand before the Lord of...
And we only had to do a few takes per section to have great takes. And this is why it cannot be overstated that the quality of the performers makes all the difference in the world. Yep. Yeah, I think we got plenty.
Okay.
I think we got plenty. From here, all that was left was vocal comping, editing, and then final mix down. And between the vocal editing and mixing, that took about another 4 hours. And when it was all said and done, this song almost took 75 hours to create from start to finish, and the course of this video was spread out over a month to put all the pieces together.
There was a time you let me know what's really going on below, but now you never show it to me, do you? And I remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove she was moving too, and every single breath we drew was high.
Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. You can stream this song now wherever you listen to music. Subscribe for more videos like this.